All right, everybody. I have absolutely no idea if we are live or not, so bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to switch over to YouTube here and just confirm with the new software. I can't actually see if I am live or not. So here's hoping. And I am... Oh, it looks like I'm live. Sweetness. All right, so welcome to the Popular Unknown Paintball Podcast live. You'll have to forgive me. This is a very new software for me, and I am just playing with it. And today is a very special day. By the way, I just saw on chat that Luther says you are, so thank you very much, Luther. Yeah, so I'm very excited because this is the very first time that I have had the opportunity to have a guest on in the new software. I am learning how to use this OBS thing brand new. So I am going to bring my good friend from Australia, Connor, in. Connor, are you ready? Awesome. Well, there we go. Now I have you on the show with me. That's amazing. And actually, I see, Connor, you actually said you on the on the messages yourself, so you can see what's going on too, right? Yeah. Oh, and we got Xander Cage from Black Flag Paintball checking in. This is awesome. So just so everybody knows, this is not a legit podcast episode per se. Yes, you just beat your chest like caveman that you are. Yeah. This is not an actual normal podcast. What I'm going to try to do is every week I'm just going to try to throw an extra thing in as I learn this whole setup. You'll all have to forgive me. I'm a little bit behind in my schedule this week because I'm sure you all heard that Frank Montresor passed away the other day, which is terribly sad. And I've been talking with a lot of people with regards to that. I was on the show with Fred Schultz last night. And while I was on the show with Fred Schultz last night, my mom got taken to the hospital with high blood pressure and stuff. So it's been a long night and a long day. So Luther's saying he can't hear Connor. Now, I can hear you. Okay, so wonderful. All right, so let me just check properties here. Thank you, by the way, Luther, for mentioning that. Control audio and via OBS. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. You're not muted. Audio settings. All right, so what I've probably done is this has about 6 different channels for audio, and I think I've got them all clicked, and I'm not quite sure how that... Okay, so thankful I know you are Video Ninja 2. Properties. Sorry, I'm doing this because I'm looking around my camera at the screen here. All right. Darn it. Oh, there you are. You're back. Okay, so I wonder if we can hear you now. For some reason, you just got all fuzzy.
Well, chat can hear us, let us know.
Oh, that was me changing things. All right. Because I tried to select audio control. I don't know why you went all fuzzy on me. The joys of starting a new podcast and new software. Ye freaking ha. Too much fun. All right. Well, the good news is you're on the screen. This might be the shortest test podcast ever. Oh, it says there he is. And gone. Okay, so whatever I did probably fixed it. So let me just change that again. Right. All right, so let me just try this here. So I was there, control audio via OBS. All right, so say something for me.
Hello.
All right, so
Hello.
I am seeing your audio on my thing. It's going to take them about 30 seconds to figure this out.
Yep.
And so hopefully, Luther, if you're around and if you hear anything, please let me know. Yeah.
Like a 2-minute offset.
There we go. So we can hear Connor now? Oh, yeah, I got to ask that, and it's the delay. The reason for the delay, by the way, awesome. Xander Cage just said we can hear Connor. So we've got everything good. All right, so the reason why that there is a delay is because, and Connor, for whatever you do, please do not pick up one of your paintball guns or anything because we're live on YouTube. If you do that, their bots, they'll detect a firearm and immediately cancel the show.
Yeah.
That's the downfall of being on YouTube. And they do that so people aren't committing suicide and things like that live, which is bad. We don't want that. So, yeah. But I'm liking the fact that I can see the chat, which is something I wasn't sure if that was going to work or not. That was going to be my test for next week. But it's working fine. And, yeah. So I think this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Now, the beautiful thing about this software is not only am I getting excellent quality, and I can do things like I can move I can move the background around, woohoo, and then I can switch over to you, and I can like zip you over here and hide you behind me, and like, oh, thank you, Connor. And, but yeah, so there's so much stuff that I can do that I couldn't do before with StreamYard. And once I get this dialed in and I figure out how everything works, it's going to be amazing. But right now,
Yeah.
So tell me about that jersey. You were talking to me about it, and I got to be honest with you, I was only half listening because I was fighting with the software.
Well, this jersey is Black Flag. It's a team. It's a soft goods company down under now. Even though that, this is an Anthrax jersey.
Right.
I am working with the owner of Black Flag, who is actually in your chat.
Oh, nice. And his name is that Luther?
Xander.
Oh, no, Xander. Okay.
And it's his paintball brand as well. Like, so not only is there's like Black Flag Skellies, there's just Black Flag as a team. And like, mind you, also just a shout out to Woody and the crew out there that they cleaned up at Rush on the weekend. They got first in Div 1 or Pro.
Right.
So yeah, and just because I also represent Woody and stuff like that, so like this is his brand. You can next week, I think their website's going live with all of their soft goods. They will kit you out from head to toe, like headbands, do-rags, jerseys, pants, socks, undies, bags, like ball bags, like
nice.
Anything.
So like one-stop shop.
Good. Absolutely, and his quality is really, really good, and his prices are pretty good too. Like compared to like what's out there,
right?
His prices just kind of hit the sweet spot.
Well, I'd say I'd order some, but A, I'm broke, and B, shipping from Australia to Canada is ugly. Like ugly. Yeah. And that's not to talk about the ugly paintball brand, which is in the States.
yeah.
But so yeah, well, so I'm kind of excited about this. It's good to, I don't know, I'm really excited to be getting the podcast back up and running
It's good to be back, baby.
Yes, it is. But I'm really glad to have the podcast back up and running.
Yeah.
And but I'm starting fresh. Like I'm completely starting from scratch. So, like I've been gone for so long, and then all the work that I did creating a personalized OBS is all deleted. So now I'm starting from scratch all over again, and I just didn't want to go another 6 months to a year while I fought with it. I figured that I would just fight with it, and everybody could enjoy while I fought with it. So I do appreciate you being a guinea pig for me.
Oh, anytime, mate. Anytime.
Now, did you see the show with Fred Schultz last night?
No. When that was happening, I was actually in the Australian Paintball Association's meeting.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'm not. I mean,
But,
not perfect. I mean, you're not watching Fred's show, so.
nah.
But I might as well show you because I showed Fred. Look what I got yesterday, or the day before.
Oh, yeah, I remember you showing that to me the other day. That's with
Tracy Perez, Mother of Dragons. So I'm very excited. This is my very first Hormesis headband. How cool is that?
That's cool.
It's got the little sword on it too. It's the count. Come on, camera, zoom in. Come on. Anyway, it's 5 of 50. So, but I'm pretty excited. I just wanted to show that off to you in case you hadn't seen it.
Nah, always like saying that. It's Gucci.
Pardon?
It's Gucci.
It is. And I felt wrong not having one. Do you know what I mean? I know it's peer pressure and all that, and I really don't know how much I'll wear it per se, but I will.
Yeah.
Because I've got the ones that I made for myself. Like I literally stitched myself, which I really like. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like one of the cool kids now.
Yeah.
So how did the meeting go yesterday? If there's anything you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, it's not anything really top secret. Like the way that I can kind of explain this is that in Australia we have a government-run organisation that's just called Ausport, which governs any kind of sport that you play, and also is like an overarching organisation that ensures that all sporting organisations follow the rules, that and that they're doing the right thing. And part of the recognition process of being recognised as an official sport is that you have to have a governing body that overarches the whole paintball. And it's hard because paintball didn't start like how soccer or American football or ice hockey, where you've just got teams that come out and play.
Right.
But then you've the owners of fields or whatever would be usually like community run organizations, like in soccer fields or football fields, they're run by a community non-for-profit organization, where paintball sort of came out with private owners of fields and stuff.
Right.
But for the competition, each field has always had, this is the Rush series, this is the Super 7 series, or the Sniper's Den series, where they're all different games. There's all different rule sets, or that they take from NXL, or they'll use PSP, or they'll use Millennium rules, or whatever for it.
Okay.
With our organisation, we standardise the rules, but we have to be part of a internationally recognised competition series. So we went with the UBF, which is Europe's international organisation rule set.
Okay.
Because it actually has the largest player base of paintballers playing, sort of thing, compared to America even. So that way we're ticking the box for our government organisation to go, okay, cool, you've done that, you're part of this now, you've got a standardised rule set and you've got to have a national series run. And we just figured out rule sets. There's all kinds of other things that I kind of can't talk about because it's legal,
of course,
and stuff. But basically, we ratified a universal blanket rule set that was taken from the UBF, and it's all a standardised rule set. As once we are officially recognised, then rule sets will be added on because of different reasons. Like for someone like me, for those watching at home that don't know, I'm actually in a wheelchair and I still play paintball. I play more bush ball than anything at the moment, but I'm hoping to try and get a wheelchair paintball league started. But for people in chairs, that's going to require a completely and utterly different kind of rule set because
absolutely,
I can't feel from the waist down. So if someone's shooting me in the leg, sure, in an able-bodied game, that's getting out. But you can't penalise someone for getting hit in the leg if they can't feel the hit.
I don't know if that's true. And the reason my argument to that is they'll penalize you if you get hit in the pack and you don't call yourself out. And you can't feel it when you get hit in the pods.
Yeah, but for us to play on an able-bodied field too, for us to be able to position to cover the area that we can feel in, our legs we might have to sit crossboard into a particular barrier where our legs are all kind of hanging out because we can't tuck in the barriers like able-bodied people can. So you kind of got to come up with specialised ruling around that, whoever might be pushing you on the field, or if we're pushing ourselves, that either you're going to have refs laying on the ground to either, you've got the leg hit, mate, you're out, or no, making sure that from where we can feel, so if we just say that all hits for people in wheelchairs count from the waist up, then, someone's there to double check and make sure that, hey, you've got the hit. So there's those kinds of rules that we're kind of discussing. We're talking about the other issue within Australia that also buggers up with a national series and rules and whatnot is because, like in Canada, how you've got different provinces, there's different province rules or laws around things. Same here in Australia. We've got Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, ACT, Tassie, Northern Territory, Western Australia. And in each one of those states, the age limit is different for when you can play paintball. So in New South Wales, it's 12-year-olds can now play. They can't own a paintball marker or have a paintball marker permit until they turn 18. Yeah, cool. We won't delve into that ruling stuff, but in Victoria, I think it's 15, and then in Queensland it's 16, and then everywhere else is usually 16 and above to play. So now it's like, well, you've got to be 16 to compete in the national series, so that way everyone's kind of it's just covered until we can get the. Hey, Rob Hanson's in the chat. Sorry,
I just saw that.
Hey, Leprechaun, buddy, get up here.
No, it's too late. No offense, Rob. I love you and all that. And if you'd got in here a little earlier, but this hair, I had a full head of hair when I started, and I just yanked it all out trying to get everything. Ask Connor how much I was squawking for like the last hour just trying to get ready for 9 o'clock, and I was still late.
So now it's going to be that it's like you got to be a minimum of 16 years old to compete in the national series.
Right.
Until we once we're ratified as a sport, we've got a bit more gravitas behind us to then start going state by state, going, look, it's in New South Wales, you can play at 12, because in the UBF rules, they've got in their series rules, they've got, an under 19s division, an under 16 division. They've got an under 14s division, which has semi-pro and novice, all in those different divisions. So that we can say in international rules, 12-year-olds are playing. you know, like, um, and then that kind of puts us on the right foot, kind of legally, to then progress the sport so that just everybody can play in this series
Right.
and stuff. So yeah, that's the whole goal of the association. What we're trying to do, what we're trying to help change, because in Australia, that's how our sporting organisations are run.
Right.
So um, once we're ratified, we're not going to be taking over fields or telling field operators you've got to do this or that. It's more that, like, hey, in some aspects, it's like NSL. We'll supply the bodies, we'll supply the bunkers. Can we hire your field for the weekend tournament? You supply the paint or whatever it is, and then there's things that get worked out there. But there's more to it than just that. That's just me condensing down the whole thing. Like,
You know what might be kind of neat? While you were
Mm.
talking about the wheelchair game, and I didn't want to interrupt you, in my head I thought, what if you had like a balloon hanging off the back of the chair, and if somebody shot the balloon and popped it, then that's it, you're out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead of that, what if you had like little like 22 paddles, like for targets, and
Oh
if you
yeah, the
hit
little
those,
blinker plates.
and it has like a light and a sound, like a little
Yeah.
flashing light and a little sound, and then as long as you're in wheelchairs, like it doesn't matter if you're able-bodied or not, you just have to hit both of them to eliminate somebody,
Yeah,
and just
that
make
could
them
work.
small enough, and then they have flashing lights and they've got sound, so if somebody is um has hearing issues, then the flashing lights, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just something like a modified wheelchair might be kind of fun. Now, it'd be expensive, but I'd play that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's also no ruling against um, actually having someone in a wheelchair play alongside able-bodied people.
Right.
But it just means that when I'm getting hit, that there will be special rules if I'm playing next to able-bodied people.
Right.
So, and that's usually discussed at a captain's meeting um, before a tournament, so that it's like, hey, you've got a wheelchair player here, or we've got 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. The rulings are for them waist up for their hits, or these are just ideas that I've been spitballing within a rule set
Right.
after we're all done, because either most people might be, or vast majority of people that I've met in my wheelchairs that are similar situation are usually waist down. So if we just say waist up, and that they're most likely going to feel, because the only parts you're ever really going to be exposing off the bunker might be this much of your body leaning forward in your wheelchair out behind the barricade. So they're most likely going to feel a hit wherever it is. But one of the things I kind of don't want to do, because over here in Australia too, women play alongside the men, like mixed teams. We don't actually have specific women's divisions.
I prefer it that way, when everybody plays together.
Yeah.
Like I said this quickly on Fred Schultz's show, and I know I'm one of the minority when I say this, but I'm not a big fan of an all women's league. And it's not that I don't think women should play paintball, far from it. The thing that I love about paintball is that everybody's equal. Like, if you're a kid, I mean, wheelchair is a challenge, obviously, but what I mean is like a dad can go out with his son and his wife and his cousin and like whatever gender, and everybody can play together, because like the paintball marker and everything is the great equalizer. You could be bigger and you're back player, and if you're small and fast, you're a front player, and you know what I mean? Like, so in order to have like an all women's league, now I get the argument that it's less intimidating for women to come into the sport and things like that, but I don't know, I just feel it cheapens one of paintball's greatest not factors. Sorry, I'm still all these buttons and bells and whistles. But
no, but like, I get what you're saying, but it's more that, like, here and down under too, like, not trying to say nothing against any of our, like, American women or North American
go ahead.
compadres, but a lot of the women that I have played with and against here in Australia are a lot more violent in action than some of the top male players that we have in this country. That, you know, the women just sort of go out there, they're running dudes down, you know, bunkering dudes just straight off the mark. They don't care. It's sort of like, and I'm more intimidated at the women that they're getting up close to me and like running me down when I was still able-bodied playing, that it'd just be like,
So what you're
where did
saying
you come
is
from?
Australian ladies are scrappy.
Oh, yeah. Like,
I like that. All right, so any Australian women are out there, reach out to Connor. He's got my contact information. Hi, I'm single. You know what I mean? Like,
and he says out and about.
I say out and about. Yes, I do.
So, yeah, but yeah, like, don't get me wrong, there are women players that do feel the intimidation here, even down under.
Yeah.
But even when I used to run just rental games, and we used to have girls that would come along that would be absolutely terrified, I used to line them up in front of all the blokes, and you know, they put their goggles down, and I said, "Righto, gentlemen, make sure you kind of figure out some defining feature here with these women and all that, because we always wear like overalls or jumpsuits and all of that."
Sure.
And I said, because once they're shot and they figure out it doesn't hurt how much they think it will in their head, they're going to start forgetting little niceties and rules, such as 5-meter rules, and not aiming for something that you might rely on later to help procreate or replenish, you know, the world's population.
Oh, stop it! You're just making me love them more. Scrappy.
And literally, I have seen women, and like young women, two-handing like 98s, running down the field, just like if you've ever seen that movie Equilibrium with Christian Bale when he does like the gun carter shit where he's like covering all of the angles. I've seen Australia, like our girls getting out there just like dunk, 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 you know, like diving and running and bunkering dudes point blank and stuff like that, because they're just like, oh, you just railed the hell out of me. Well, I'm coming for you, son. And just like, as they're coming, and it's just like, okay, run.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right.
I love it.
I'm liking Australian women more and more right now. Gotta be honest. Scrappy.
Well, hurry up and get in your canoe and start paddling. I'll have a tinny waiting for you, so we can sink a few tinnies.
I'm not paddling that far, man. Like, maybe 5 years ago I could have done it, but
well, maybe we could do it as a fundraising thing. You know, that it's like fundraising for this guy has started all the way from Canada, and he's going to paddle all the way down to Australia to come play a game with his mate and share a tinny.
Well, I will be 100% honest with you. I will be coming to Australia as soon as I can, even if it's only to visit you. Like, and I have family in Australia. As long as I'm visiting you.
We got this, brother.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know if anybody wants to ask any quick questions. I don't want this to be like a full long show. I mean, I wanted to talk paintball a little bit, but for all intents and purposes, this podcast is going to suck for the next month and a half. No question in my mind. I'm learning as I go, and thankfully I've got great friends like this guy right here who's willing to let me be a willing to be a guinea pig. You know, unlike Robert Hansen out there who can't be bothered to skip class because, you know, I'm more important, but so. All right. No. So what do you think of this, Connor? Like, because you can see it on YouTube. I mean, I know the delay is a little less than ideal, but that's just YouTube, and they do that for safety / content reasons.
Yeah. But no, the whole layout looks good from what I'm looking at on the YouTube.
Yeah, and I can change the like I can do really cool things with it. Like, let's go to yours for a second. Like, I can do this, you know, because let's face it, that's the most attractive part of you.
I'm waiting for it to come up on the screen because of the delay. So.
Oh, okay. So it'll come up shortly, but So I can change things and I can move it around so that that's the background. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, now I've just seen where you changed the screen.
Yeah, I can just sort of. I'm on top of you there. Actually, I always on top. Hey, the show just looked better already. Anyway, but yeah. So I mean, there's so many things that I can do with it, but I got to get everything all set up. And the challenge is, especially when bringing in videos, is that obviously audio, but I have to get the URLs from the software into this software, which means I got to have everybody here early so that I can blah, 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 blah. It's going to be a little more challenging than using StreamYard, but when I am done, it is going to look a bazillion times better. So, and it's free. So, yeah.
We like it. That's the best price. For free?
Well, I was paying between $80 and $120 a month for StreamYard because I had all the bells and whistles because I wanted to be able to use them all. And they kept adding more, and that was great. But I have to be honest, I wasn't really impressed with what I was getting. And so when the time came to come back, I really wanted to have something special. And quite frankly, I just didn't think StreamYard was special enough. Now, this basically looks like StreamYard, but when I'm done, this is going to be completely different yet again.
Yeah, nice.
Am I boring you?
No, I just had a late night last night. I was out punching kangaroos till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Pardon?
I was out punching kangaroos till 3 o'clock in the morning. No.
Yeah, I thought you said that they were scrappy. Is that something you really want to do if you can't run away?
Oh, well, it's more my height when my chair's fully deployed is the intimidating factor to them. So.
All right. Well, listen, I think we've been live for about 30 minutes. So why don't we shut this down? Because this is more a test than anything else. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Oh, I have to ask, Xander Cage, is that his real name or is that just after the movie?
I'm guessing that's just after the movie because I know him as Woody.
Okay.
So.
Which is also after a movie.
Yeah. Well, his last name's Wood, so it's just like, Woody.
Fair enough. Got it.
Same as like all Australians will either shorten something, so it's like Dingo and Jingoisms and Django.
Nice.
Wheelbarrow instead of wheelbarrow, we just call it. Oh, go get the barrow.
I'm getting used to your slangs. Not completely, but I'm getting there.
Well, we'll go and blow some froth off a few.
That's all, folks. Anyway, sorry. All right. And so on that incredibly embarrassing little why don't we shut this thing down? Connor, thank you so much for being on and being a guinea pig and whatnot. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like and subscribe. Like, I understand if you don't actually like this show, because I don't like this show, this episode. Love the show, hate the episode. The only thing good about the episode is that guy right there. But they're going to get better as we go along. But I want to get all the bugs out before I start getting into actual shows and things like that. So these don't really count as episodes, but I want to make sure that I'm posting at least once a week because it's just important to me. I want to bring this show back, and I want it to be better than ever, and I want it to be better than everybody else. So, yeah.
We'll get there.
All right, so any parting words, Kemosabe?
Keep your powder dry. And wait till you see the whites of their eyes. And always have fun.
I thought you said there was a 5-meter rule.
Oh, well, usually, depending on how good your eyesight is, you could see someone's white of their eyes from 5 meters away, you know.
You do know you do know my mask is mirrored, right? You only see the whites of your eyes.
Well, then, technically, I'm just only like in my head shooting myself. But
Pretty much.
But yeah, keep your powder dry. Wait till you see the white of their eyes, and keep on rolling and play fair, play hard, and get somebody else into the sport every time you play. Bring someone along and get them into the sport.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I usually say keep your paint dry, but he just stole that. So play with passion, everyone. And I'll see you all next week. I hope you enjoyed it just a little of it. Please like and subscribe. Well, subscribe. I don't care if you like, because honestly, this episode is except for him.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Connor's awesome. This guy right here with the glorious beard. I need to grow mine back, I guess. Catch back up. All right.
You need a beard off.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one.